Together in this video, let's practice rewriting mixed numbers as improper fractions. If you'd like to download this worksheet for free and do these problems with me, feel free to go ahead, it's in the description box below. For the first few practice problems, I'll go through a little bit more detail and show you why this process is going to work, and then I'll do them a little bit quicker at the end. So for number one, we have this fraction of 1½. So this 1 is 1 whole, and the fractional part here is going to be 1/2. And so what we're going to do here is we're going to split this up into two parts. So I'm going to go through this like piece by piece. And so the fraction we have is we're talking about halves here. So we want to have everything in halves. And 1 whole is going to be the same thing as 2/2. So that's where the 1 turns into as a fraction. And then we have this 1/2 over here. So if we go ahead and add these two together, we're going to end up having 2 + 1 = 3. So 3/2 is the same thing as 1½. Now, if you want to check this using a shortcut, you can multiply 1 times 2, that's going to be 2, and add the 1, and that's going to be 3. So you're going to notice that's going to be 3/2 as well. For number two, let's check out this one. We have 4⅓, so 4 wholes, and then we have 1/3 as our fractional part here. So let's go ahead and break this up. So we're going to have a fraction plus another fraction equals our improper fraction that we're going to have here. Now, keep the denominator of a 3 and a 3 and a 3 all the way through. And let's think about this. How do you rewrite this 4 in terms of thirds? Well, 4 times 3 is going to be 12. So it's going to be 12/3, which is the same thing as 4 wholes. And then we're going to have this 1/3 that we had from the beginning. And then 12 + 1 is going to be 13. If you use a shortcut to check, 4 times 3 is 12. 12 + 1 is going to be 13. So it is 13/3. For number three, let's see. We have 2 2/3. So it's 2 wholes. And then we have 2/3 as the fractional part here. So let's go ahead and set this up. So we're going to break this up into a couple pieces, and let's see what our denominator is. Well, we know it's going to be 3, so it's got to stay as 3 the entire time. And then we had a whole number of 2. So how many thirds is going to make 2 wholes? Well, 6/3 is the same thing as 2, so that's going to be that part. And then we're going to have 2/3 here. And so 6/3 plus 2/3 is going to be 8/3. So just like that, we have the improper fraction of 8/3. For number four, we have 2 4/5, so that's 2 for the whole number, and then we have 4/5 as the fractional part. And so let's go ahead and break this up into some smaller pieces so we can see what's going on. Our denominator appears to be 5, so let's keep 5 all the way through. And then how do you rewrite 2 wholes in terms of fifths? Well, I think 2 times 5 is 10, so I'll go ahead and put a 10 on top. And then you're going to keep the 4/5 that we had from the beginning. Adding 10 + 4, that's going to be 14, so that's 14/5. Checking this using the shortcut here, I forgot to write it for the last one, but 3 times 2 is 6, 6 + 2 is 8, so it is 8/3. And for this one, 2 times 5 is 10, 10 + 4 is going to be 14, so that's going to be 14/5. Let's check out number 5. For number 5, we have 5 4/5, so this is the whole number 5, and then we're going to have 4/5 left over, so 4/5. So let's break this up. So we're going to have the whole number here, we're going to have the part here, and we'll write our improper fraction over here. Our denominator is 5, so keep the denominator the same all the way through. And how do we get this 5 as a whole number? Or how do we write this whole number 5 as an improper fraction? So 5 times 5 is going to be 25. So 25/5 is the same thing as 5. And then we have this 4/5. So 25 + 4 is going to be 29. If we go ahead and check this, then 5 times 5 is 25 plus this 4. 25 + 4 is 29, so this 29/5 checks out. For number 6, we have 1 2/5, so it's 1 whole, and then we have 2/5 left over, right? So let's go ahead and break this up. So we have the whole number here, we'll rewrite that, and then we'll rewrite the part, and then here will be our improper fraction. Our denominator is 5, keep 5 all the way across. And how do you rewrite 1 whole in terms of fifths? Well, that's just going to be 5/5 because 5 times 1 is 5. And then we have 2/5 left over. So what's 5/5 plus 2/5? That's going to be 7/5. Using the shortcut, 1 times 5 is 5. 5 plus 2 would be 7. So we do get 7/5. For number 7, we have 2 wholes here. So we'll convert that in just a moment. And then we have the 3/7 that we'll add on to that. So for this, let's set it up as a fraction plus a fraction is going to equal another fraction. The denominator is 7, so make sure that everything is going to be in sevenths. Okay, that checks out. And then let's say 2 times 7 is going to be 14. So again, 14/7 is the same thing as 2. and we're going to add 3 here. So what's 14 plus 3? That's just 17. Checking this using the shortcut, 2 times 7 is 14, 14 plus 3 is 17, so 17 over 7 does work. For number 8, we have 4.5, so here's the 4, and then we're going to put the 1 over this 2, so that's going to be the fractional part. So we have a whole number plus the fraction equals the improper fraction. So everything is talking about halves here, so let's keep everything over 2. 4 times 2 is going to be 8, so 8 over 2 is the same thing as 4 wholes, and then we're going to add on this 1/2 we had from the beginning, so 8 plus 1 is 9, so it's going to be 9 over 2. Checking this, 4 times 2 is going to be 8, plus the 1 on top is going to be 9, so that does equal 9 over 2. Let's check out number 9. So number 9, we have the 6 and 2/5. So 6 is going to be the whole number, and then we have 2/5 as the fractional part here, so 2 over 5. So let's go ahead and break this down into some smaller pieces. Let's go ahead just like this. We're talking about fifths, so let's keep fifths all the way through. And so what's 6 times 5? That's going to be 30. So we'll put this 30 over 5, and you can check that 30 divided by 5 is equal to 6. So that makes sense. And then we have this 2 here. That's from the beginning. 30 plus 2 is going to be 32. So we have 32/5. 6 times 5 is 30. 30 plus 2 on top is 32. So 32/5 makes sense. For number 10, we have 3 and 3/5. So 3 is the whole number, and our part is 3/5. So let's go ahead and break this down. So whole number, we'll rewrite it there, the part, and then the improper fraction. We have fifths we're dealing with, so let's go ahead and write fifths and some more fifths, okay? 3 times 5 is gonna be 15, so 3 wholes is the same thing as 15/5. And then we're gonna have this 3/5 added onto it, so 15 plus 3 is going to be 18. Let's check this. 3 times 5 is 15. 15 plus 3 is 18, so this is 18 over 5. For number 11, we have 4 and 3/4. So 4 is the whole number, 3 is the part, and then this 4 is the whole. So let's see, let's go ahead and break this down. Our denominator should be 4, so let's keep that all the way across. For the whole number, let's go with 16 because 4 times 4 is 16. We have the 3 that we had from the beginning. 16 plus 3 will be 19. Checking this, 4 times 4 is 16. 16 plus 3 will be 19, so this is 19/4. For number 12, we have 6 and 3/5, so here's the whole number and here's the fraction. Then let's go ahead and break it up. Our denominator should be 5 all the way across. And 6 times 5 is going to be 30, so that whole number of 6 is 30 over 5. Same thing, and then we have this 3/5 over here. 30 plus 3 is going to be 33. Let's check this. 6 times 5 is 30. 30 plus 3 is 33, so this is 33/5. For number 13, let's check this one. We have 2 and 6/7, so 2 is the whole number. And then we have a fractional part here of 6/7. So we have a fraction plus another fraction equals another fraction. We're talking about sevenths for this problem. Let's see, 2 times 7 is going to be 14, so 14/7 is the same thing as 2 wholes, and we're going to have 6 over 7. So what's 14 plus 6? This is going to be 20 over 7. So 2 times 7 is 14, 14 plus 6 is 20, so we do get 20 over 7. For number 14, we have 4 and 3/8, so here's the 4, and then we have the 3 over 8. Okay. And so let's go ahead and break this up. Our parts are going to be in eighths, so let's put 8 on the bottom of everything here. 4 times 8 is going to be 32, so we're going to have 32 over this 8, and then we still have the 3 over 8. So what's 32 plus 3? That's going to be 35. Checking this, 4 times 8 is 32, plus the 3 is going to be 35, so it's going to be 35/8. For number 15, we have 3 and 1/10, so it's 3 as the whole, and then the part is going to be 1/10. So rewriting this, we'll break it up into its pieces. We are dealing with tenths the whole way across. And so 3 times 10 is going to be 30. So 30 over 10 is the same thing as 3. And then we still had this 1 over 10. So 30 plus 1 is 31. Checking this, 3 times 10 is 30. 30 plus 1 is 31. So 31 over 10 checks out. And for number 16 on this page, we have 5 as the whole number, and then we have 1/4 as the fraction. Let's go ahead and break this up. We're dealing with fourths, so we'll put fourths all the way across. For the whole number, 4 times 5 is 20, so 20 over 4 is the same thing as 5. We have 1 over 4 from the beginning, and 20 plus 1 is 21. Checking this, 5 times 4 is 20, 20 plus 1 is 21, so 21 over 4 does make sense. Let's check out number 17. So for 17, we have 4 and 4/5, and what I'm going to do here is I'm just going to go straight into rewriting these now that you get the hang of it a little bit more. Keep in mind here that we're dealing with fifths the entire way. And how do you rewrite 4 wholes in terms of fifths? Well, 4 times 5 is going to be 20, so it's 20 fifths. And we had that 4 fifths from the beginning, so what's 20 plus 4? That's going to be 24 fifths. Checking this, 4 times 5 is 20, 20 plus 4 is going to be 24, so 24 fifths. For number 18, let's go ahead and break this up again. Check our denominator is going to be 8, so let's go ahead and write eighths all the way across. Now what's 3 times 8? 3 times 8 is 24, so that's going to be 24 eighths is the same thing as 3. Then we have this 3 eighths from the beginning, and then 24 eighths plus 3 eighths is 27 eighths. Checking this, 3 times 8 is 24, plus 3 is 27, so 27 eighths works. For number 19, we have 5 and 3/10, so let's go ahead and break this up. And so we're dealing with tenths here, so let's go ahead and put 10 on bottom. And let's see, 5 times 10 is going to be 50, so we're going to have 50 tenths plus the 3/10, and 50 plus 3 is going to be 53 tenths. So checking this, 5 times 10 is going to be 50, plus the 3 is going to be 53, so this is correct. For number 20, we have 6 and 3/5, so let's go ahead and break this up. We have fifths all the way across, so let's go ahead and put 5 on bottom. 5 times 6 is going to be 30, so we're going to have 30 fifths plus another 3/5. 30 plus 3 is going to be 33. So checking this, 6 times 5 is 30, plus 3 is 33, so 33 fifths is the improper fraction. For 21, let's say we have 2 and 7/8, so let's go ahead and set this up. Check our denominator. Our denominator is 8, so that should never change. 8 is going to stay the same. Then 2 times 8 is going to be 16, so the first part is 16 eighths, plus another 7/8. 16 plus 7 should be 23. So we have 23 eighths. Checking this, 2 times 8 is 16. 16 plus 7 is going to be 23, so this checks out. For number 22, we have this 3 and 8/9, so let's go ahead and break that up. Check our denominator is 9, so 9 should be what we're dealing with the entire time. And so let's see here, 3 times 9 is going to be 27, so let's put 27 on top. We have this 8 from earlier, 27 plus 8 is 35. So this is the improper fraction version of 3 and 8/9. Checking this, 3 times 9 is 27, 27 plus 8 does equal 35, so that'll be 35/9. For 23, we have 6 and 11/12, and so let's go ahead and deal with the denominator of 12 the entire time. All right, so sometimes you're gonna have to multiply it out. If you need a little bit of help, I can write this for you. So let's do 12 times 6 if you're not sure, and that's going to be a 12, carry the 1, that's 6 plus 1 is 7. So this is going to be 72. So 72 over 12 is the same thing as 6 wholes. And then we have this 11 over 12 from earlier, and 72 plus 11 is going to be 83. Okay, so just checking this, 6 times 12 is 72, 72 plus 11 is 83, so 83/12. For number 24, we have 9 and 3/4 or 9 and 3/4, like the platform. And let's go ahead and see the denominator is 4 and 4 and 4, and then 9 times 4 is 36, and then we have this 3. 36 plus 3 is going to be 39. Checking this, 9 times 4 is 36. 36 plus 3 is going to be 39, so 39 over 4. Here's 25. For 25, we have 7 and 4/5 here, so let's go ahead and break that up. The denominator is going to be 5, so let's go ahead and put 5 on the bottom for all of these, 5, 5, and 5. And then we can go ahead and say 7 times 5 is going to be 35. And then we're going to have the 4, so 35 plus 4 is going to be 39. To go ahead and check this, 7 times 5 is 35, 35 plus 4 is 39, so 39 over 5. For 26, let's go ahead and write this out. We have 8 and 5/7, So we're dealing with 7, so let's go ahead and put the 7 on bottom for all of these. 7 times 8 is 56 for the whole number. And then we're left with this 5/7. So 56 plus 5 is going to be 61. Checking this, 8 times 7 is 56. 56 plus 5 is 61. So 61 over 7 seems to check out. For 27, let's go ahead and see what this is. It's 3 and 8/11. So we're dealing with 11ths the entire way. 3 times 11 is going to be 33. So let's go ahead and write 33/11 for the whole number. And we have 8/11. So 33 plus 8, that should be 41. And so checking this using the shortcut, 3 times 11 is 33. 33 plus 8 is 41. So 41/11. Let's check out these last few. So for 28, we have 9 and 4/7. So 9 and 4/7 we can break up into a few different pieces here. So 7ths is the parts we're dealing with. 7 times 9, that's going to be 63. So we'll put 63 on top. And then we have 4 left over. 63 plus 4 is 67. Okay, checking this, 9 times 7 is 63. 63 plus 4 is 67. So 67/7 is correct. Okay, number 29, we have 4 and 7/12. So let's go ahead and deal with 12ths here. And let's see, 4 times 12. 4 times 12, I think, is 48. So let's go ahead and put 48 over here and then put a 7. 48 plus 7 is going to be 55. And then checking this, 4 times 12 is going to be 48. 48 plus 7 is going to be 55. So 55/12. All right, for these last three, let's go ahead and see if we can write it a slightly different way just to see if we understand this as well. So the shortcut would be 9 times 8, which would be 72, right? And 72 plus 5. So maybe another way we could write this is just writing 9 multiplied by the 8 that we would have on the bottom. And then we could just go ahead and add the 5 that we have on top. So, and put that whole thing on top of the 8. Okay, so 9 times 8 is going to be 72. And then 72 plus 5 is going to be 77. So we can go ahead and put 77 on top of the 8. So this is another way of writing the same thing, but we should get 77/8 for this improper fraction version. For number 31, let's go ahead and try this as well. So let's take the whole number of 14 and let's go ahead and multiply that by the denominator of 9. And let's go ahead and add on the numerator of 7. And this whole thing should be on top of the 9 that we have on the bottom. So we have to know 9 times 14. So I'm going to go ahead and do that on the side. 14 times 9 in case this is helpful. But you might have to do this sometimes as well. 4 times 9 is 36. Carry the 3. 9 times 1 is 9 plus 3 is going to be 12. So 126. So we should get 126 plus 7 is going to be 133. 133 all over 9. Again, basically what we're doing here is multiplying 14 times 9, which we identified as 126, and 126 plus the 7 is going to be 133. And finally for 32, let's take the 13 as the whole number. Let's go ahead and multiply that by the denominator of 8, just like we've been doing, and then add on the numerator of 5. And let's put this whole thing over the 8ths that we've been dealing with for this problem. Okay, so let's go ahead and see what this is going to be. We might need to know 13 times 8. I'll go ahead and write that on the side. 13 times 8. 8 times 3 is 24, carry the 2. 8 times 1 is 8 plus 2 is 10. So we have 104 plus 5 is going to be 109. So I believe this is 109 over 8. Okay, so checking this, 13 times 8 is 104. 104 plus 5 is 109. So this should work, this should work, and this should work. So going ahead and seeing how all the pieces work here step by step. But again, you can always just multiply the whole number by the denominator and add the numerator, and that'll work as well. So I hope you found this video helpful in just understanding why the shortcut sort of works and how to convert all mixed numbers into improper fractions. If you found this video helpful, please consider giving it a like and letting me know in the comment section down below. Also, if you'd like to tell me if you like improper fractions more or mixed numbers more, let me know in the comment section down below, and I'm sure we can have a great debate about it. As always, keep up the great work that you're already doing, and I'll see you in the next one.